Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello and welcome to Footy Judge Mo people. This is your counter views back after a fantastic weekend when we had a lot of debates with a lot of panels, of course, and a lot of guys that actually gave us fantastic content, of course. Big up everybody that joined us, of course. It's your Monday crew. It's Nobbins and Tom. Like the video if you're here, of course, now live. And if you're watching this on the replay, my target is to get every video to at least 500 likes. With your help, like the video before you go in. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it helps the channel massively, of course, massively. We'll talk about Pep and Cancelo. Cancelo calling out Pep, calling him a liar, of course, calling him whatever. He's like, yeah, I didn't make any problems. He wanted to kick me out, and he's complaining and complaining. I will talk about that. And he doesn't regret leaving a team that won a treble, though. He doesn't regret that somehow. But and also we'll talk about the Liverpool schedule, the Arsenal schedule, that this is going to be one hell of a month, April, for both teams with the Merseyside derby, and the Spurs game scheduled for Arsenal between the Wolves and the Chelsea game, of course, PGMO or whatever who scheduled the game, making it tough for both teams. And also, I want to ask a question, and I want to ask a question to everybody, of course, but we'll talk about that. If the game at the Etihad between Arsenal and Manchester City, will this game kick one team out completely of the title race? But I'm here with Tom and Nobbins. Over 100 people right off the bat. We're just starting, so hit that like button. Tom, Nobbins, how are you guys doing? I feel like a long time no see for some reason.
It's the international break. It's horrendous. I hate it. I don't care for England. I don't care for Gareth Southgate ball. The man who has a very talented group of players yet uses them like they're Stoke City in 2011. So
it's my favourite thing.
I'm looking forward to next week. I've never looked forward to Everton versus Crystal Palace as much before in my life.
Is that the first game?
I don't even know. I just know Everton play 3 o'clock next week, and I'm going to watch 3 o'clock. I don't watch 3 o'clock kickoffs. I'm going to find a way to watch a 3 o'clock kickoff, just so I don't want to watch it anymore in international football. It's horrendous.
It's Newcastle West Ham on Saturday. Oh yeah,
wow,
that's a good game. That's a good game. And then wow, that is not Manchester United Brentford. But everybody, listen. Actually, let's just talk a little bit about England. Nobbins, do you follow England?
It's cool. Yeah, of course, yeah. I actually...
Tom, you don't at all, right?
Just English lad.
Oh, this guy. I was just going to say that I think I'm one of the rarer people who's more country than club. So if you could say, like, would you rather England win something or City, I'd rather England win.
Yeah, but that's because you've won everything. It's probably a little bit boring now. England haven't won anything, so you want that little bit of dopamine.
No, but I was also that when City were rubbish.
Can I ask the people in the chat, you guys, it doesn't matter if where you're from, is it country or club first? Which one would you rather win?
Obviously I love both, club? Obviously, but if I had to pick, then I'd go for country.
I mean, considering I don't have a country.
You know, I was watching the game and I was thinking one thing. Conor Gallagher can't offer anything more than Kobe Mainoo.
You can't offer anything.
Conor Gallagher. You know what? I need to ask you to this. I do genuinely. Is watching Conor Gallagher? It made me think: is this what everyone else saw when Jordan Henderson played for us? But now that he's not my player, I get to see it.
No. I understood the Henderson stuff because it allowed other stuff to happen on the pitch. The Gallagher one is not. It's not like he's facilitating anything. He's just Trent, at least Henderson was allowing Trent to be the player he could be.
It's not only that. I actually believe that people actually forgot what Jordan Henderson used to do. The support he used to have to that right side, the first time crosses with the cutbacks.
He was good for a period.
People forget that because of his last season. Literally, people forget that Jordan Henderson used to get involved in the game more often than not. Like Jordan Henderson wasn't just someone who runs around in the midfield. Jordan Henderson was Jordan Henderson at Sunderland, if I believe, he was like that kid who was talented and can dribble and all the stuff. When he moved to Liverpool, of course, he started to drift to all the guy that runs around. But I believe that Jordan Henderson wasn't a bad player. It's just tainted with the last season when he was just atrocious and everybody thinks, you're not great.
He was all right. I mean, again, with Gallagher, people, and I'll always say this about footballers, I will not rate a footballer who, when I ask you to name me their stellar attributes, is stuff that Olympic sprinters need, or
It's
stuff that runners. I need footballing attributes to be some key parts of their game. Otherwise, what's the point? Nunes scores goals, mate. He scores plenty of goals. That's fine. Good in the air with his head. That's fine, mate. Unlike Gallagher, who, if you ask a Chelsea fan, he's got passion. He runs around a lot. He gets what it means to be Chelsea.
He's proper Chelsea.
Yeah, proper Chelsea. They've got the shirts now. If Gallagher leaves, we riot. I don't get that myself. All this for a player who I could probably find a Chelsea fan. And as long as they can run, as long as they do a little bit of running during the week, will probably offer the same impact on a football match that Gallagher does. No technical ability, no change of the game. He runs. He does laps. He gets his cardio in. And that's apparently the key to this England team. You watch this England team. You know what I said it. I thought this England team, in terms of quality that it's got, could win the Euros. It could do. But then I watch England play, and I realised they are not going to win shit with the way they play.
I disagree with you, though.
The way they play just is
the way people talk about this England squad is that it's full of talent. Don't you guys think that's because we watch England and we watch the Premier League? And
no, it is a very talented.
We
are
trapped in this because if you look at the Man City team, for example, there's only one English guy that won the treble last year, and he wasn't even big part of it, which is Phil Foden. Stones, for example, this season hasn't played enough. He played like what? How many games he played?
But when he has played, he's been very good.
I actually believe John Stones. Okay, and
Kyle Walker as well.
Kyle Walker isn't even gonna play in the. Is he gonna play?
Kyle Walker
playing and Trent is back. Do you guys believe Kyle Walker is gonna play?
Because Southgate prefers Trent in midfield.
Kyle Walker isn't someone who wins you like the World Cup. Like Kyle Walker
Grealish as well.
Because lately Kyle Walker is being used by Pep exactly sometimes to his strengths, closing that part, allowing other people to go forward. You know what I mean? Like, but my thing, and even Kyle Walker last year, people said that Kyle Walker was used in some areas. Kyle Walker wasn't the guy that you would name as a starter last season every game in the triple season.
Yeah, but let's not make any mistake about it. This is a very talented England squad. We've got arguably the best striker in the world.
But I'm sorry, no, but before you continue, but I don't see what they say about this is the most talented team in the world or the most, this is like amazing. Like Declan Rice has been good, but that's because we watch Arsenal, for example. Are we
I don't know if
he's the best DM? Rodri is him or Rodri, for example, for the national team. Yes, Declan Rice. Rodri is Spanish at the end. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not saying they're the most talented. I'm not saying that they are the best team of individuals, but I'd say they're like, they're in and around like the top three. I'd say they're sort of like up there with like France and Portugal.
Yeah, I like that. Fine. But the fact that people say that, oh my God, it's coming home. It's because we are the best team in the world. They must win it. And I'm like,
I think they've got to do well because you knockout football, you don't necessarily win it if you're the best team, but they've definitely got to do well. As I say, I think that they are definitely top three in terms of talent. We do have like arguably the best striker, arguably the best midfielder this season in Bellingham. If we're including Trent, that's like one of the best fullbacks in the world. Declan Rice is one of the best defensive midfielders. Saka's one of the best wingers. Foden's been one of the best midfielders this season.
The front six you could rattle off would be you could have Declan Rice as a 6 with Trent and Bellingham. Trent is like a pivot box to box. Bellingham is the 10 playing off of Kane up front with Foden on the left, Saka on the right. Defensively, he's a little bit. I agree there. Stone's good, but no idea who the left back's going to be because Shaw is injured. Chilwell is Ben Chilwell.
Chilwell, man.
That cross he put in was fucking. You put the crosses that were going out for goal kicks.
Number one, your goalkeeper is not the best around.
No, I agree.
Pickford.
No, but he's never let England down. To be fair, he's always been good for England.
He's not great, Nobbins. He's never let England down, but he's not Neuer. He's not Courtois. You know what I mean?
No, but he's fine.
He's all right. That's my point. Anyway, this England team, we'll see what they do. The problem is it's gonna be played in Germany. Big problem. I don't think the Germans will allow the English.
The problem is the manager. This is the one thing I will say about England. And it's the part that I don't understand. We play in the the highest, the most intense, the most fast-paced league in the world, according to all the media and this, that, and the other.
And then goes to
You
the
know,
team, and then it's like...
and then they go to England and they play defensive football, low block, mid block, sets up to counter attack. We have players that spend 90% of their time playing football in 3-2-4-1 or 2-3-5 build up, dominating teams, high pressing, tiki taka football. They go to England and it's solid banks of 4, quick up the top. We're not going to dominate games. If we had a manager who actually went, if they're the manager who actually went, oh yeah, let's just sit there and sort of dominate teams. Oh my God, England would do really well because they've got the players for it, but they've got to manage it.
The issue is he is a championship manager at the end of the day. He's a championship manager.
He couldn't hack it at Middlesbrough in 07, 08. And that was a Middlesbrough team that had some all right players in, and he couldn't hack it there.
He's not even the 4th best. He's not even like the 3rd best English manager. I could immediately name 3 who are definitely better than him. And it's not like England are blessed with brilliant coaches at the highest level. It's not like with Spain or Italy where they've got loads. Oh yeah, exactly.
Like the championship, like the Coventry manager Mark Robbins, he plays good football. He wins games. If you want to go Prem, Eddie Howe, Graham Potter's not even got a job. Would rather have him. Sean Dyche,
Potter, Howe, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that
we've got the yes man.
It's kind of crazy actually that he's arguably the most successful English coach in recent history since they won the World Cup in 1966.
Indeed,
while people actually say that on paper he is World Cup semi-final, Euros final.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Euros final, World Cup
just suggest that's
final
more
where Kane missed a penalty.
In spite of him rather than because of him.
That's what I think that's what people tell themselves.
It kind of is though, because every single time I've seen England play a team that is decent, that isn't a Panama, they very rarely win. Especially,
I think he's got a record of 4 out of 25 against teams in the top 10.
He beat Germany one year, didn't he? He beat Germany in the Euros.
Germany, which hadn't got out of their group the last 2 tournaments.
I guess only time will tell. All the squad is very young. The Bellingham, Rice, Foden, Saka. Everyone is young. You know what I mean? Even
this is a tournament.
Sanchez not that
needs
old.
to have a good tournament now, or I'm just like.
I think he's gonna leave anyway.
Hold on. Nobbins could be both Pep out and Southgate out. Oh my God.
This vicious line needs to end.
Okay. Listen, people, I'm going to do 300 people here, over 300, and I'm not even on 100 likes. That's embarrassing. That's absolutely disgraceful. Of course.
Why have we got the conversion rate of Ben Chilwell's crossing against Brazil?
Absolutely.
What are we doing here?
Absolutely. It's astonishing. You guys are not the like button. Do you guys wanted me to show you the like button? I started this and I stopped doing it because people got annoyed. But apparently, you guys, I have to show you again how to do it.
Sam just shamelessly nicked this idea as well, by the way.
And then he's doing it every... Guys, underneath your live chat, when you have the live chat right here, you close the live chat and the like button is this side. Right here. Hit that like button, guys. Come on, get us to 200 likes now. It doesn't cost you a penny. Even if you don't like the video and you hate on us, you can like the video so you can hate on us more, because this is it. But anyway, let's talk about Pep then. No. Before we talk about Pep, I'm doing new things, right? We do the super chats in bulk. All right. So we start the super chats. Now, the first batch. So, guys, if you want to send the super chat, I'm going to do the super chats in patches. If they are related to the topic, I might stop the topic and then do your super chat if you're going to interject and say something different in the chat. But I'm going to do all the super chats so you guys can actually see the responses. I'm going to respond to every single super chat. Super chats support the channel massively. Keep us going, of course. It's how we fund the channel, of course, and how we keep things going, just to clarify. Ryan is saying, get Amorim out of my club. He's not in your club, Ryan. Nagelsmann is clear. Also, what has happened to Szoboszlai? He was class up until November, but since then he's been shocking. Tom.
I mean, we'll leave the Amorim stuff to the side. Just know he's the best manager for the job. And again, you have this weird agenda with Szoboszlai. He's been fine. He's been in. Let's bear in mind he was injured all throughout January and all throughout February. So we've got March, and 2 of them weeks in March are going to be international break. So we've got about 4 games of him, and he's been fine in them. Has he been the same level that he was at the start of the season? Probably not. No. but that was an unsustainable level.
I think where
He's just
Ryan is
bouncing
coming
out and averaging
from.
out.
I think where Ryan is coming from. Yes, what you're saying. Yes, and also we have to look at the expectations. People expected Szoboszlai to be the superstar. People were talking about Szoboszlai being the heir of this, the heir of that, the guy that is doing bits, but he hasn't. McAllister has stepped up and he looked better than him. Even Endo looks better than him. Yes, he was injured, but the problem is people had expectations for him. But Ryan, I see your point. Szoboszlai hasn't been dropping stinkers, but Szoboszlai hasn't lived up to the hype that a lot of people spoke about him.
I mean, I think hype comes down to where you play. He plays on the same side that Trent and Salah do. Ultimately, he's third option there, should we say. If you want to go to basketball, which I know Nobbins now watches, if you want to go see a first scoring option, it's Salah. If you want to go see a first creative option, it's Trent. You want to go to your second creative option, it's probably still Salah. So Szoboszlai sits third there. Szoboszlai's job really is to cover ground on that right-hand side. Make sure that Trent isn't getting exposed when he comes into the middle. And if he can offer an attacking threat, offer it. I feel that the agenda against him is slightly harsh. I do believe that people need to temper expectations, and I believe that next man comes in, they use him quite differently.
Yeah. Cooler here is saying, which is the club song besides Cant del Barça? Which is the club song besides Cant del Barça?
I quite like Atletico de Madrid. I sung that one to you once.
And my favorite is Chelsea.
I like that, by the way. It's just very simple, but I like it. It has a... As Sean is saying, would rather Liverpool win a corner than England World Cup.
Crazy.
I'd rather win a throw-in. Throw-ins are quite good.
Crazy. Ryan is saying, we are a better team with Nunes. That should be obvious to everyone, yes. Judge, you're so corrupt. Fans need to stop the Hindu disrespect. He's a Liverpool legend. He's definitely a Liverpool legend, in my opinion. But he won't go down as a legend because of the last season.
No, he will.
He will?
Henderson will be a Liverpool legend because he was the captain when we won the Premier League and the Champions League. Is he the best player? No. But he achieved really good things.
You know what the difference is? That at Gerrard time, he was the best player. At Jordan Henderson time, there was Trent, Van Dijk, Salah, Alisson. There was too many good players around him. But yeah, Cooler here is saying, how is Trent better in midfield? Defending is harder in midfield than a fullback. And he isn't good enough to play a 10 over Maddison or Foden.
And I wouldn't have Trent in midfield. I never said he was better in midfield, but the fact of the matter is Southgate plays him as a midfielder. And he was going to if he wasn't injured in this international break. He plays him in a pivot alongside Rice and then tells Rice to do more of the defensive work. Also, Trent isn't a bad defender. I don't know why we keep running this dead narrative at this point in time. He's not a bad defender. Yes, he struggles sometimes when he goes up against pacey wingers, like most people do. But he's a decent defender, and the numbers show it, especially when he was inverting his recoveries, and the midfield defensive stats went up. Yeah. He can do the job there. And yeah, he won't play as a 10 over Maddison or Foden, because I don't think any of them are getting the 10 spot over Bellingham. That would be mental.
I think Bellingham is going to play on the 8 at the end.
Then,
if it's a Southgate system, he should.
We're turning Jude Bellingham, the man who's got like 20-odd goals from midfield this season, into a water carrier for James Maddison.
No. Just play him how he's been playing his whole career before this season.
No, but we don't have the wing. I say we, like I care. England don't have the wingers for it.
England don't. So your wingers are actually wingers are goal scorers.
Who would go on the left then? Who would go on the left?
Foden.
Depends on the opposition.
No, but Foden's the 10.
No.
In this scenario, Foden was put as the 10. So Foden
is my lineup. This is my lineup. My lineup is my lineup would be Trent, Stones, Maguire, whoever. Gomez on the left, Declan Rice, Bellingham, Maddison, Harry Kane, Foden on the left, Bukayo Saka on the right side. That would be my lineup.
I just don't see how Maddison gets in, personally. I feel that Maddison and Bellingham end up in the same spots.
We'll see. Anyway, now we'll talk about Pep. So for the people that don't know, Cancelo called Pep as a liar. Right? that he never created a problem. He never created problems. He never complained, and Pep just wanted to kick him out. And he said, ask Rico Lewis and ask Nathan Ake. I never complained because Nathan Ake, so the backstory is Nathan Ake took his spot, right? Because he was very, very good last season. And the story was that Cancelo complained, yeah? And he left the club and he said, I don't care. I went to Barcelona. They didn't want me at Manchester City. They are ungrateful. My point is, Pep has history of this. Eto'o, Zlatan, Yaya Toure before. He said that about Pep. Pep is someone who, he doesn't like someone, he kicks them out. He did that with players before. I'm not sure what's the benefit of Cancelo saying that when he was asked about it. Why are you accusing your manager of this? Is that because of the repetition that people say that you are someone who complains, or someone who's a troublemaker? There is a reason why Cancelo actually was at Inter, left, went to Valencia, left, went to Juventus, left, went to Man City, went to Bayern Munich. They didn't want him, and then he went to Barcelona. There is a reason why at the age of 28, you switched all these clubs and only had success at Man City, if I'm not mistaken. But it's all about Pep. Why is he saying that? That I don't know. Nobens, why do you think he's saying that? Or it's just an interview?
I don't know. It's weird. I thought we were past the whole like petty Cancelo situation, to be honest. It's annoying because I really liked Cancelo as a player. And I was like, fine when he left for Bayern. I was like, it's whatever. But like he's making it very hard for me to like not dislike him, to be honest. And that's a shame because there was a period for like 2 years where I defended him very strongly, and I was like, he's arguably one of the best fullbacks in the world. But yeah, as you say, he's going to be 30 this year, and he's already played for 7 clubs. And it's not like, he's been like, he's making his way around the lower leagues. He's played for like Benfica, Valencia, Inter, Juve, City, Bayern, Barca, like all big teams, and none of them have wanted him for long periods. He hasn't had more than 100 league appearances at one of those clubs. The most was at City.
Did he not make 100 league appearances for you?
98 league appearances, more overall, but not in all comps, but not 100 Premier League. No. So it all points towards Cancelo being a quote troublemaker, a complainer, whatever words you want to use, which is, as I say, is a shame. I don't want to label him like that, but you would think that he would just get on with it and like get over it. Whatever happened, I don't know what happened. Obviously, I wasn't there, but from an outsider looking in, what seemed to happen was Cancelo was dropping stinkers in his last City season. Think of the Anfield game where he just, I don't know, absolutely bottled it and allowed Salah to run in. That was one example of a few that season. Lewis came in, a child came in and was better than him. A 17-year-old came in and was better than him. Ake, who'd been left out in the cold, when he first started, came in and was better than him. In fact, Walker was benched as well. So Lewis took his spot, and then Cancelo left. Not only did he leave, Bayern didn't pay any of his wages. There was no loan fee. Sorry. So City were clearly desperate to just get rid of him. So it doesn't look good from a him perspective. And also, did Bayern keep him, or did they just go, no, we don't want you? Oh, they got rid of him. I just think it's really weird. I don't know what happened, but apart from of those names you listed, apart from Eto'o, none of those players should really be chatting. I think we were talking about it off stream. Zlatan's the perfect example. I'm not saying correlation equals causation, but you leave Inter to go to Barca, who've just won the Champions League. Inter win as soon as you leave it. You then leave Barca, and then Barca leave as soon as you leave. And Barca then win it as soon as you leave. And he's still chatting and making weird comments about Pep as well. I don't know.
Do you think all of them are lying, Novins? To be honest,
I don't know if it's about. I don't know if it's a case about lying because again, I'm not there. But so this is my theory. There are lots of players who Pep, I think, like quote challenges, and maybe you could say from a Cancelo perspective, treats unfairly. Ake is a great example of this. Ake was not good in his first season with City. He was bad. There was links of him going to Chelsea, going to other clubs. And I think that is probably the situation that Pep puts players into who aren't performing well, as he probably did with Cancelo. It's like, right, well, you're not actually performing well, so I'm going to bench you. And there's two ways you can react to that. You can either do the Ake reaction and put your head down and go, right, I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to improve as a player. I'm going to get into this first team. And Jack Grealish as well. I'm going to get into this first team. I'm going to make a difference. That's exactly what the two of them did. Conversely, on the other side of the coin, there's the Gabriel Jesus or Cancelo method of doing things, of going, I don't like how I'm being treated. I don't see it as like him trying to push me to be better. I'm just going to leave. That's how I've interpreted it as an outsider looking in. I think the Ake one is perfect. Ake was willing to put his head down, get on with it, become a better player, get into the team. There we go. Cancelo, the first bit of inconvenience for him, the first indication that he's no longer first choice, I want to go now. I want to go to Bayern partway through the season. And again, the fact that we won a treble without him, if I was him, I'd be quiet, personally.
It's not a great look for him. I mean,
it's not a great look.
He's been at, and the fact that he left and City got infinitely better without him. Infinitely,
and we knocked his Bayern out as well.
You knocked him out of the Champions League, and he didn't play well then. I don't look. Whatever Cancelo's doing, maybe Barca have a hand to play in this, because I know that they like to cry about financial things, but they might want to keep him round, and then they're just trying to see if they can lower that transfer fee or whatever. It's just not a bad look. Cancelo might end up being one of them players who, at the end of his career, has played for a lot of great clubs but isn't loved by any of them. And I don't know if that's the career you'd want to have as a footballer. I mean, he can come out and say all this stuff in hindsight, and Pep isn't going to come out and respond, because Pep is a professional and he wants to focus on his players at the minute. But it's all very weird and disappointing, that, especially from a City point of view, that he's saying all this now and this, that, and the other. Like,
he's still on City's books, right? Like, Barcelona have to buy him.
Yeah, it could have waited until at the end of the season. Doesn't need to come out midway through the season, and then just cause unnecessary media attention and stuff. I just think it's all very weird. Pep's a divisive manager, but he's also the greatest manager of all time. His methods clearly work, and if he has to upset some players along the way, he has to upset some players along the way. For every upset player, for every Joao Cancelo, there's about 4 other success stories at fullback for him. For every Zlatan Ibrahimovic, there's 4 other success stories for him up front. For every, who else was there? Yaya Toure. There's 4 other success stories in midfield. He's clear. If he annoys people who don't perform, he annoys people who don't perform. But it doesn't actually affect anything. He's just he's the best manager in the world for a reason.
Let me do this couple. Cooler here is saying Barcelona has their hands all over this Cancelo thing. They are doing this on purpose. That's what he's saying. We are not willing to pay City's price. He's a Barcelona fan. This will force City to sell. City will have to sell Cancelo.
Our price, by the way, I believe is very reasonable. Barca are just absolutely broke. I think we only want like 40 million for him, or I don't even know how much it is, but it's not a lot considering the player Cancelo can be, and they apparently want him. Get some money.
You might have to release the guy, to be honest.
Stop being bad with your finances.
Yeah, 40 Barcelona are saying that a 40 million asking price is too much.
40 million for Cancelo. Is that what they want for a 30 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, player of his quality, that's very reasonable.
The guy was sold. The guy was sold for 40 when he was 24. So
but Barca actually only willing to offer 25 million euros.
Yeah, and I think at the end City will pay. To be honest,
25 million euros.
City will sell. City will
when I look at the players that are going for 25 million euros, Cancelo's better than them. Cancelo for 40 million.
But this is a different story. This is not a club. Okay, so that's my point. This is a different story, though. This is not about a club wants a player and a team that is just selling the player because there is like a market for him. No, Cancelo, Man City want him out more than Barcelona want him in.
At that point, I'd rather just be spiteful and just not give him to Barca for 25 million euros.
And what do you do with him?
Well, I either find another buyer, like in Saudi or whatever, or just have him rot.
The player can say no, and then he gets paid. He's on your wage bill.
He's already on our wage bill. Have him rot anyway. Who cares?
No, he's not on your wage bill now. Barcelona paid the wage.
There's no way. There is no way Barcelona are paying all his wages.
Right. So I've got a list up here of some of the transfers that would cost more than what Barca are willing to pay for Cancelo. Joe Willock to Newcastle, Daniel James to Leeds, Beto to Everton, Chris Wood to Newcastle, Patson Daka to Leicester, Sangare to Forest, Digne to Villa. Who else is there? Charles de Ketelaere to Milan, Leon Bailey to Villa, Pau Torres to Villa, Thiago to Brentford. Who is he? He cost 29 million. James Ward-Prowse to West Ham. Van der Ven, Malo Gusto, Fabio Vieira, Kurt Zuma, Danny Ings, Buendia, Madueke, Diego Carlos, Naya Baguer, Onana. If you're telling me that Cancelo is worth less than all of them players.
No, Cancelo is worth probably, but the problem is Cancelo has a problem with Manchester City. That's what you're missing. Manchester City have to sell him.
Yeah, but we don't have to sell him to Barca, I think is the point.
Yeah, all right.
We don't have to sell it to a club who are literally paupers. We don't have to do that.
How long's left on his contract?
I think it's like I think it's
Hold
2
on.
years, maybe.
So this is very good segue. Okay, let me do the super chat, and then it's a fantastic segue. Actually, Kohler is saying, "I know Pep. He is not a good person. At some point, he was not even talking to Eto'o, Xavi, and Iniesta, and needed to beg Eto'o to come back to the team." Listen, I wasn't in the dressing room. I'm not in the dressing room, but I just know that when there are players like Eto'o, Yaya Toure, Cancelo, whatever, and Ibra talking bad about you, because by the way, Ibra like yelled at Mourinho yelled at him and all this stuff, but at the end, he says that Mourinho is one of the best coaches he worked under, right? My point about Pep, what I realized that he doesn't work with big egos. He needs to be the superstar, which is the way he works. He's very successful. I can never say that, yeah, Pep's way is bad, because at the end, he won trophies, trebles. He's fantastic. His methods are being taught down in like League 2 and League 1. People play the same way. But to be honest, it's just, he isn't the most loved coach around. That's the thing.
There are more, but I'd argue there are more success stories and more players who do love him than don't.
Success is different than love.
No, and also just more players that love him than don't.
Successful.
And also more players that love him than don't. It's a very small pool of players we're talking about here. And as you've already pointed out, a lot of them already have a lot of big attitude problems. I'd say the only outlier there is Eto'o. Outside of that, the other three, massive egos and have been proven to be wrong, ultimately. I think another really good example is Aguero. Pep came in, and there was talk about Aguero might actually leave, like Aguero and Pep didn't get on, and Aguero actually revealed in an interview, because he was being benched for Gabriel Jesus a lot, and he was like, "This has never happened to me in my career. What's going on? What's happening?" And he revealed in an interview Pep was testing me, and that Pep was demanding more from me and from my game. And again, in that moment, he had exactly, and in that moment, he had two options. He could either sulk and force away at the club or whatever and accept that Gabriel Jesus is the new man, or he could add that string to his bow and become a better, because Pep at the end of the day wants the best for his players. Hence, they're his players. So did Aguero do the Zlatan and cry? And the Cancelo and cry? Or did he do the Ake and the Grealish and actually put his head down and actually added that to his game? And that's what he did. He became a better footballer because of it.
And then in the end, when he started to slow down, Pep just allowed him to play a different role, because he'd already earned that respect. I think. Yeah.
Let's. I wanted to justice for Cancelo. Let's go, Nilot Pal. Thank you.
What justice does he require?
Sack Pep out. Tony Josek is saying Cancelo to play inverted wing back for Arsenal. Good segue. Do you guys believe? Do you guys think that Cancelo can go to Arsenal, guys?
No.
Before we go on, Travarelli, I don't know what is happening. I don't know what is happening in the chat, but if someone is racist, you guys can just block him. Mods, do your job. I don't know who from the mods is here. But guys,
Travarelli's suggesting that Pep is racist based on nothing, really.
he might be. I don't know. I'm not gonna accuse anybody of being racist.
Well,
Anyway.
exactly. You might be. Tom might be.
No, but I don't want to go there because he said kind of.
I'm not racist. I love John Barnes.
Can we we move on from this thing?
Please tell. If people haven't seen that clip, it's not going to work. People haven't seen that clip, it's not going to work.
I assumed there was some context. Yes.
I know what you're talking about. To be fair, no top manager is an angel. The only angel in the history of in my opinion, he's no angel, but for some reason he's loved in every single team he coached by the bench players that never played and by the first team. It's Jose Mourinho. Every team he coached, when he left with a problem or with no problem, they said we loved him. Even the players that didn't play, by the way, no one came out and said we didn't like Mourinho. Mourinho always
say that.
The only team that is Spurs, because the Spurs is the only team, and you know why?
Because he left them in a horrendous toxic
he was
environment.
Sacked, bro, and he called them out. He was sacked before the cup final. Are you serious? Before the cup final, he was sacked, not to win a trophy, spiteful by Daniel Levy, so Mourinho wouldn't say that I won the cup if he would have won it. It was a very obvious thing. He didn't want to keep Mourinho, because if Mourinho won that, he would have said, I won you a trophy and then you got me sacked. You sacked me. It was a very obvious thing. It was very that was absolutely a spiteful thing to do.
Does Pogba still like Mourinho?
I think so.
I don't know. I've not looked into it, but I'd find it hard to believe that all the United players loved him and all of the Real Madrid players loved him. I'm not sure.
The Real Madrid players loved him.
The Real Madrid players I can accept, but the likes of, let's say, Luke Shaw, I don't think Luke Shaw likes him.
He called him out many times.
He called him fat, and then just he never sort of wavered from that. I don't think Luke Shaw necessarily likes Jose.
Porto, Inter, Real Madrid, Chelsea 2 times, and I actually believe even Man United. Anyway,
it's just a shame the owners didn't like him as much because he's got more Champions League trophies.
Everybody liked Ancelotti.
In Mourinho's heyday, he was adored by everyone that played for him. As he became a bitter old man, I think he started to annoy a lot of people. I think Ancelotti is loved, and I think Klopp. I don't remember many players hating Klopp necessarily.
I think that you actually said it right. When he got older, Mourinho, he became a grumpy old man.
Ever since his Chelsea stints, really. His final Chelsea stint.
He's becoming. Listen, people, I'm gonna do the super chats after these two in a bulk. Shout out to Nobbins, but don't you get sick of City winnings? I have a feeling that Arsenal win at the Etihad this weekend. Every dog has his day. We'll talk about that. We'll talk to Nobbins about it. I'm actually now. We'll do the super chats now. If you guys want to send a super chat, you send it now. We'll do all of them now, and I'm going to put a timestamp on it. Nobbins, that question is for you.
I do not get sick of City winning. Definitely not. I can assure you, the novelty never wears off. I was a City fan when City were rubbish. I'm now a City fan when City are good. I can assure you, it's much nicer to be winning than being rubbish.
Do you believe Arsenal can win at the Etihad? Which is we're going to segue to this.
Absolutely, they can. Yes, 100%. Whether they will is another question, but I think we might be discussing it in more detail shortly. But yes, absolutely, they can.
Just wait till Arsenal fans actually hear that Tom Little wants Arsenal to win.
Wild.
I want Arsenal to win on Sunday.
Okay, Joyce, thank you so much. You're saying Mo Henry said the same thing, that he hated being benched at Barca, but later learned what Pep wanted from him. Go and watch his interview. Yeah. Henry loves Pep. I know that. By the way, I never said Pep is a bad coach. If I want to be coached, by the way, I want to be coached by Pep. And if I want to manage it for my club, I definitely want Pep. He's arguably, in my eyes, the most influential and probably arguably the most successful manager in the recent history of the sport. I wasn't alive in the 70s and the 80s. I was too young in the 80s to know. I'm talking about from the 90s on. He's the most successful. Him and Alex Ferguson are the most successful. And Pep probably did what Alex Ferguson did in a shorter time. Money, no money. He has good squads. That's different. That's a different argument. Like, you can actually argue that on a different things, but he's successful, and his way is probably one of the best ways to win in a league.
It's definitely the most influential. Like, you've even got non-league sides in England trying to play like Pep. Like, that's insane.
100%. But he ruined football. That's completely different. And you know that.
It is funny watching them non-league
that he
sides
ruined
try and
football.
play Pep, though.
You know that football before Pep was better than football after Pep.
Okay, mate.
Yeah, it was less robotic. It had more personality.
So hold on.
Do 3-2-4-1.
I'm gonna explain it for the last time, and we can discuss it. But let me do the super chat. The last one. Cooler is saying, with Cancelo, I don't want him at my club. Okay, even Barcelona fans don't want him.
This like proves my point 1,000 times. Like, no one wants this guy.
Even Barcelona fans don't want him. It's amazing, you know. He sometimes has no desire to defend. Yes, Pep. A lot of people said that. Actually, I've heard it from people that went to the stadium at City. They said the guy looked disinterested in just defending. He just didn't want to do it. My youngsters to defend better than Cancelo. I would trust my youngsters. That's very true. It's absolutely very true. Guys, we're almost 600 people here. And we aren't even on 200 likes. Wallahi, that's disgraceful. Yani, in Ramadan, I'm waking up. I'm fasting. I'm waking up early before my job to do a content where these two gentlemen are giving me their time, and we're trying to entertain you in a horrific international break where you watch England under Southgate, right? Lose to Brazil at home. So at least you hit that like button and you get me to 300 likes so we can get this video to more people. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you're new. Why Pep ruined football? Before we go on to the Arsenal talk, which is more interesting. 43 minutes in, we have not spoken about the Premier League, people. 43 minutes in. Pep ruined football because back in the days, in the 90s and the 2000s, you would go to games and you don't know what is going to happen in the game. Not in terms of results, but in terms of like how the game is being played. Who's going to have position? How many attacks is going to happen? Where is the team going to... who's the team that's going to have position? Who's the team that's going to sit deep? Who's the team that's going to play defensive or counter-attack or transition and all this stuff? When Pep came to the picture, which is very genius of him, by the way, that's not. He made the football about, even when you watch Championship and people said that, sometimes you know that this team is going to have position. You know that this team plays position-based football and this team is going to defend. So if you watch the highlights, you'll get the piece. You'll get the actually best bits of the game. You watch the highlights, you'll get the counter-attack from this team, and you'll get the chance from this team. All the other storyline is this team having position, knocking it around, and trying to attack. And the other team is defending, which is Man City games. That's why Man City games, when you watch them, they are not predicted in terms of results, but they are predicted so the outcome is unpredictable sometimes, but the storyline is there. Man City will have position. They will smother the other team. The other team will defend, try to play counter-attack. So if you watch the highlights, you won't miss anything because the majority of the game is Man City passing around. That's how Pep made football.
So Pep ruined football by
for neutrals, yes,
an identity and a philosophy.
100%.
Being very good at it.
Pep ruined football by having good possession football, basically.
Because for the neutral, okay, well, hold on. If I'm telling you a movie, if I'm giving you a movie, okay, I'm gonna do an analogy now. If I'm telling you, majority of the movies will have the same storylines, but the outcomes will be different. You would say, all right, then I'm just gonna watch the outcome. But if all the movies have different storylines in them and completely different situations in them, you would want to watch the movie, right? What Pep did is that made football very systematic. Every coach now, majority of the coaches, they want to copy Pep. Every coach now wants to have position. And by the way, I'm telling you, I do the same. When I coached under 18s here in a local club, I actually tried to do the same thing. I told, because it's very simple. When you have position, the opposition team have less chances to score against you, so you have the upper hand. But that makes football for a neutral. If it's my team, I would love it. I love my team to have 70% possession because it's my team. But if you're a neutral and watching a game, okay, what's in it for you? If Man City knock the ball 1,000 times and the other team has 200 passes, what's in it for you as a neutral? Go watch the highlights. It's just that. And I know that you are a Man City fan, and now when Pep leaves, you will realize what I'm saying. When you start watching other teams and you see Bayern Munich, for example, playing another team. No. When you watch Pep with other teams, you watch Barcelona Pep. People think Barcelona's Pep was very entertaining. Barcelona's Pep had 70% possession.
I liked watching that.
They had the ball all the time. I liked watching them in the bits where the genius come out. You know what I mean? The bits were like, oh my God, let's reach the goal. It's very good. But other parts of the game, it was just them having the ball around and passing it around. All right, then.
Well, yeah, because that's what's needed to win.
Exactly. So I get what you're saying, but I am not saying that that's not a good way. I'm saying in the 90s and the 2000s, when football were unpredictable, I think that's better for me, watching as a neutral.
I think
This
it's
is just my opinion.
So it was more entertaining. Not better, but more entertaining.
100%. More entertaining. Yes, not better, because better is winning. Pep's way is the better way. Let's establish that, right? It's the better way because it's the winning way, right? The winning way in football. The ultimate goal is for you to win the game. But is it more entertaining? No, but it's the better way.
I'd suggest that if sort of like, because like one of your points there was Pep's done this and now everyone's copying him. I'd suggest it's everyone who's copying him who's to blame if that is your issue. Surely it's not Pep's fault that people are copying him.
His way is the winning way, Nobbin. So what do you want people to do?
No, because do you know what I will say about, and I'm sure Nobbin's coming back from you up here. If you try and beat Man City playing the way Man City play, or if you try to beat Barca playing the way Barca played, or you try to beat Bayern playing the way Bayern played when Pep was there, you were going to lose because no one does it better than Pep. So if anything, watching the likes of a Klopp or in years gone by, Crystal Palace, who would go at City and counter-attack and try and put the pressure on them and unsettle them and not try and do tippy-tappy possession football, but high-intensity, high-pressing, chaos football, should we say. That was what caused the problems. That is probably what City have struggled against most in Pep's time here, when teams go at them. So that sort of thing, Pep does what Pep does. The people that go against Pep and think they can beat Pep by playing Pep football are the idiots. Because they're not as good at it. Yeah. They don't have the players and they're not as smart. So you need to find your separate ways of beating them. And I don't get why people haven't figured out yet. Let's not act like Pep Guardiola is the first and only manager to try and dominate possession in football matches. His teams are just the most effective at it because he's the best manager at managing it.
Yes.
And is it boring for a neutral? Yes. But ultimately, Pep Guardiola doesn't manage Manchester City for the neutrals. He doesn't manage Manchester City so everyone else can enjoy watching football. He manages Man City so Man City win football matches.
100%.
And it's on all the other teams that play against him to try and beat him.
If City play, I don't know, give me like a lower mid-table team, a Wolves, let's say, and Wolves are camping again, everyone behind the ball and like fighting for their lives at the Etihad, and people going, "Oh, this City game's so boring." It's not City's fault that Wolves have set up to defend. That's, if anything, you should be blaming the opposition. Like, City can only play what's in front of them. It's not their fault if the opposition want to defend, and they're well within their right to do that. I don't have an issue with that. But if people say, "Oh, this game's boring because City is dominating the ball," you shouldn't be asking. You shouldn't. The blame should be at City store. It should be the team deploying a stinky low block, and I don't have an issue with that. That's a perfectly valid tactic.
Yeah, guys, moving on, and guys, if I'm gonna do the super chats in a bit, right? All of them together, unless someone sends a super chat that is related. Arsenal versus Man City. The first question that I wanted to ask is, first, I'm gonna run a banner here so people can. We need to get 400 likes. If Arsenal and City, if one of them lose the game, are they out of the title race?
No. Sorry, I missed that. If who loses the game, what?
If one of Arsenal and Man City lose the game, are they out of the title race?
No.
Not mathematically, but
Okay, nobody's going to be mathematically out.
Practically, they probably are, I think, yes.
So you think if Arsenal beat City, let's say you played well, but Haaland misses some chances, and then Arsenal hit you on the break, and it ends 1-0. Do you think that's City done in the title race, then it's all focused on the Champions League?
I probably do, because
they're going to be 4 points behind Liverpool, just to clarify.
With a worse goal difference. So really, 5 points. So my retort back to you, Tom, would be: do you see Liverpool drawing 3 games in the last 9 / losing 1 and drawing 1 in the last 9?
I don't see it happening.
I don't know how many games are left. Sorry.
I personally don't see it happening, but it's a very real possibility with some of the games that are left. A Villa away could beat us, or a United away could beat us.
So that has to happen. And conversely, City have to win all their games. Every single one. I don't know how many games are left. I think it's around 10-ish, is it? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly 10.
Right, there's 10 left. So, yeah, so if that happens, and let's assume that this match week, Arsenal win, Liverpool win, City lose, obviously. So there's 9 games left. So in order for City to win the title, bar some ridiculous goal difference swing, City would have to win every single game, and Liverpool would have to draw 3 times, or draw and lose, or lose and lose, or a combination therein.
Arsenal would have to do the same as well.
And Arsenal would also have to do a similar thing. The likelihood of that happening, I feel, is incredibly slim. So from a practical perspective, looking at the fixtures, looking at the number of games, I think a defeat for either side is, you're practically out of the title race, I think.
Do you think it takes Arsenal out, though?
They'll be further behind,
if City beat Arsenal are ahead, aren't they?
I don't even know what the title. Yeah, they might be. I don't even know
Arsenal are top of the table. I think Arsenal top.
Are they?
Yeah, Arsenal top. We're second.
I thought they was behind by a point. Okay, let me just have a look at the table then. Okay, that changes my mind then. I didn't realize that Arsenal were that high. I thought they were similar to City.
Nobbins has come on a show where we were going to do predictions about the title race, and he didn't even know how the table was shaped up.
I thought they were a point behind. They're actually on the same points. That's my bad. Okay, so if Arsenal lose, then no, they can stick. There's still a chance for Arsenal. Then
it's just City. If City lose, you think it's done for with City?
Yeah.
See, the thing that gets me, that's part of the reason why I want Arsenal to win, because I think it does a lot of damage to City's title challenge. But then, in my mind, Arsenal are beating Bayern, and City are beating Madrid, and then it's Pep revenge tour in the Champions League semi-final, around the games where Arsenal have to play Chelsea and Tottenham, 2 games where they could drop points in derbies. That is what then would swing it in the other way, where I think they go all out to try and reach the Champions League final, and they've got to beat City again because it's a tough game. They might just then be a little bit tied in the league and drop points. Again, is it a lot of hope? 100% it's a lot of hope. I am gambling that the biggest momentum boost they could get off doing the double over Manchester City falls apart when they have to play them in the semi-finals. That is also relying on Man City getting past Real Madrid, which I think is a very hard task. There's a lot of moving factors there, but that is the way that I see it best going for Liverpool. Arsenal beat City. City then beat Arsenal in the Champions League, and then that loss damages Arsenal in the league, and they start to drop a couple of points, and Liverpool just ease their way through by having easier Europa League games. That's it. That's ideal scenario. Is that going to happen? Probably not. But that's why I want Arsenal to win on Sunday. Arsenal win, wipe City out, and then City have to go and do it in the Champions League, and hopefully it damages Arsenal in the league. That's it. Because I'm gambling that the momentum that Arsenal get doesn't carry over. But it very well could do. Well could do, and then we're in a lot of trouble.
Before we go on, I actually forgot one super chat. I'm going to do it now. Joyce is saying, this Cancelo guy cry when he's being benched for Lewis. Give me a break. He couldn't get the young boy off the team. Oh, my days. That pisses me off.
I agree.
And even Barcelona fans now, Kura is saying he doesn't want him. Yeah, but I appreciate
no one wanted. Bayern didn't want him.
I appreciate the super chat. Nobody wanted him. My point is, a lot of people are saying Arsenal, can win against City, what percentage do people give them to win, to actually walk into the Etihad and take the 3 points?
It totally depends on how we set up. If
If
City
Alvarez is in the midfield, Arsenal win.
right, yeah. I'll say it right now. I'll say, yeah, if Alvarez starts, then it's a loss. I'm going to predict that right now, to be honest. Unless Haaland's like injured and Alvarez is playing at striker, if Alvarez is on that pitch or if there's a left wing in the midfield, we don't win. Quite frankly,
there's potential injury things as well, which isn't so. Obviously, Kyle Walker went off. Although I don't think he's in your best defense, that might be a bit of a controversy.
I think for the Arsenal game, that's a silver lining. To be fair, yeah, because I wouldn't play him.
Haaland obviously went off in the Norway training, but that's probably a strategic one. Stuff like that could swing it. I just think, look, when we played a really weak team in comparison when we played at Anfield, but because I saw Alvarez in midfield, I thought we could get at them. Because Alvarez just ruins the balance.
Mm.
He ruins it stops KDB doing what KDB does because Alvarez wants to do it and Alvarez can't defend as well. Then Foden is forced in an area where he can't impact the game as well because Alvarez is there. Then Bernardo can't really get into the game because Alvarez is there. 3 of your best players have to sacrifice their game to accommodate a pretty disappointing midfield option. He's a good striker, but a pretty disappointing midfield option. That's the part that gets me. If Kovacic is in there, should we say, instead of him, I think City are looking a lot stronger. It like Norman said, it depends. I think if Alvarez plays, 40% Arsenal. If Kovacic plays, 20% Arsenal.
Yeah. I think that's fair. If we play how I think we should play in terms of our team, we should win because we've got basically everyone available. Like Jack Grealish will hopefully be back. We should win if we play our strongest 11. I'm not going to try to play the underdog card or anything. We should be the favourites. We should win. But if we play like a weird team, as we have done in every single big game this season, I feel like outside of home against Man United, we've overcomplicated it and we haven't beaten anyone. Alvarez did play at Old Trafford, but he was the worst player on the pitch. I think it's fair to say. Every other big game, Alvarez has started, and we haven't won. The only ones we have are the United games. And United are United. So the history tells us that he must not start, and Kovacic must start, or Grealish must start, or some combination therein.
I'm looking at this game, to be honest, and I think this is Arsenal's best chance to win against Manchester City. Pep Guardiola doesn't know his best lineup. He's
I don't think it is, by the way. I thought the game earlier on this season was the best chance because Rodri wasn't available. I think City fall apart when Rodri doesn't play.
They won.
That was going to be the best chance they had.
Yeah, I'm talking about at the Etihad.
I think if you ask Nobbins, who's the one player City can't afford to lose, it's Rodri. So him not being available for that game, and obviously we discussed it last week. There's the potential Rodri could end up missing 2 games.
Ederson's still injured.
He is. That's going to be big.
I think Ortega.
Ederson is still injured. He's not going to play. No. Ortega isn't the same. He's not the same.
He's not. He's arguably a better shot stopper, in fairness. And maybe for this game, it won't actually matter that we lose Ederson's intricate little passes because maybe we'll play how we did last season, where we just more focus on punting it up to Haaland. It'll be interesting to see how we play.
And then play
exactly, yeah. We might be doing that.
You don't think that you're playing into Arsenal's hands here with Saliba and Gabriel being on top of their games this season and they can stop Haaland from actually...
Well, it worked last season.
It did, yeah, to be honest. But
despite what
they
people
are
want,
different monsters this season.
Despite what people want to say, it also worked a lot at the Emirates this season as well. Our best chances came from Haaland holding up the play and then passing it off to a midfielder. It just the final cross wasn't there from Guardiola, who, in fairness,
you think Pep Guardiola at the Etihad will abandon his way of playing football?
I don't know what I mean by abandon because we did it last season.
He's not gonna. It's not every time that Diaz or Stones gets the ball and pumping 60 long balls, but it'll be if they're under a little bit of pressure. i.e. Arsenal are trying to press them. He might just opt to go up to Haaland and play off that instead of trying to play the way out intricately. And then it's a different avenue of attack. It's a different outball. It's something that I think City don't really use properly a lot. I feel that Haaland is underutilized in certain senses at Man City because Pep doesn't want him to get involved in certain things because he's got a way of doing it. And I think Arsenal, it depends who plays. I think Havertz should play up front, and I think Arsenal will try and do that. The same thing that we're saying City should do. Arsenal will try and do that with Havertz on Stones and Diaz. Have Havertz be a bit of a physical presence up there, win a knockdown, and have Martinelli, Trossard, Saka, whoever's playing, run off of that. People will moan at it and say it's a long ball, it's this, that, and that. It's effective football that teams struggle with. It's playing to your strengths. And I think Arsenal might need to do that. And I think City definitely need to do that because of the attacking talent they've got in behind. So if Haaland holds it up, Kevin De Bruyne picking up the ball off a Haaland knockdown and then running at that defence, it's terrifying, even if you've got the best defence. It's terrifying because your midfield can't keep up with it. If you then add Bernardo Silva, or God forbid for Arsenal, if Pep goes balls to the walls and goes Foden, De Bruyne, with Rodri sat behind, and uses Haaland's knockdowns, that would be a ridiculously good attack. And then he has Grealish on the left for a little bit more defensive support and Bernardo on the right for a little bit more defensive support. I personally feel that's the way to go. If Grealish is fit, obviously, that's the way to go for City. You can still do your intricate little passing if you want. There'll still be moments in the game for that, especially at home. But having that option of a long ball and then Haaland knocked down, and then he either runs off of that and De Bruyne plays it in, or De Bruyne and Foden use this knockdown to drive at the defence and push them back. That, I think, could be key.
I'm not sure how, to be honest. The problem is, in my opinion, that Arsenal are also unpredictable. The way they played against Liverpool, what they played in phases, is like they press sometimes, they sit back sometimes, they play counter-attack sometimes. They are unpredictable because nowadays I think they are arguably the best team in the league at the current moment on form, right?
Oh,
He's utilizing.
Oh, they are the best. They're top.
Yeah, they are top by 2 goals difference.
I think they're on like a 10-game winning run in the league. Like they're undoubtedly the best team on form, and them wins have been some really big ones as well. Their confidence can be much higher, and I think that's a good thing for Arsenal and a potential worry for Arsenal. Is Arteta then going to have this confidence and try something mental? Or is he going to stick with what works? Because the only team that I believe can potentially get a result at City by playing a similar style is Arsenal. Because quality-wise, it's the closest in the league. I'd still probably give City the edge because it's Pep. But they're the team
the Etihad as well.
Going toe-to-toe. Yeah, all them factors. But like you said, Arteta's shown this season he can manage. He can set up his teams in different ways. I do believe it's an interesting proposition. I believe it's going to be a game where systems change a lot. I believe it's going to be a very tactically driven game where they'll set up some way and then a team will have an early advantage and then the opposition manager will change something and then it'll go back to being a bit even or the tide will swing and it'll all be about these little intricate changes mid-game. And one of them changes will win the game. I don't believe this is going to be 3-2, 4-3, or one team whitewashes the other like we saw last year at the Etihad. I believe this could be another 1-0.
1-0.
Maybe a 2-1. Not really high scoring.
It'll be very low scoring. This is a game where both teams need to win. Therefore, it will be a draw.
Wait, Martin, where is your Arsenal shirt, Judge Mo? Okay, why don't you tell Nobbins then? Nobbins is the one who said, without a shadow of a doubt, they are the best team in the league, Arsenal. So, Martin, I want you to put a comment to tell Nobbins to put his Arsenal shirt as well.
No, I said that right now.
Because he said the exact same thing as me.
I said right now that they are best because they're top of the table. Of course they are.
I am calling you out, Man City fans. Martin, you have to put a comment. Nobbins said the same thing as me, but you accused me. Cooler here is saying, if City plays how they should, I love this, how they should, they will win. But we all know that won't happen. So Arsenal will win comfortably.
Comfortably? At the Etihad?
Even if we set up incorrectly, it won't be comfortable. Even if we set up incorrectly, it won't be comfortable.
comfortably. Like
Have we
3-0.
ever seen a
Arsenal
team
do a
lately
3-0 job
win
at the
against
Etihad.
Pep at the Etihad comfortably?
The
Who
only
was
team
the
that's done
last
it,
team?
Leicester, before Ruben Diaz signed for us.
Was that the 5-2 or whatever thing?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's the last one I can think of where it was a comfortable, clear victory.
Oh my God.
Comfortable is mental, by the way.
Comfortable
Comfortable.
is bro. If Arsenal win comfortably, I think that will rattle a lot of people, to be honest.
Around Nobbins will release a video though on how Pep Guardiola's cost City the title by not using Phil Foden correctly, because every video's got to have Phil Foden in there somewhere because he loves Phil Foden. He's got all the stats to back it up. Oh my
He's our
God.
best player. If someone else was our best player, I'd
It's
be
that
loving him as
spreadsheet you
much.
pull out every single game. If you follow Nobbins on Twitter, you know, every single game there's a spreadsheet and it's colour coordinated and everything. And it just goes to show that when Foden touches the ball, City win.
And I've updated it now to account for percentage of City touches. So it's not just a case of when City have a lot of the ball. It's also the proportion of touches.
It's not only Pep has ruined the game of football, it's Pep and Nobbins. Pep and Nobbins have ruined the game of football.
Respect Microsoft Excel. Respect it.
Pep Nobbins and Microsoft.
Bill Gates got a lot to answer for.
Oh my God. Spreadsheets, Pep with his movement and Nobbins with his spreadsheets and color-coded ones. Color-coded ones.
I need to see if I... Yes, there it is. This is what he puts out after every single game. He's got a spreadsheet of all the Foden touches.
It's a good spreadsheet, to be fair.
The last game... Well, I don't know if this is the last one. It probably isn't. United at home.
I've...
let me go find the updated one.
Can I ask something in the chat, people? I want people in the chat. about 600.
What does that tell you, Tom? What does that tell you?
So when City
can you send it to me? Can you send it to me? I can share it.
Let's see.
Send it here in the private chat. Send it somewhere in the.
I can read it out if you want.
No, but we need it on the screen.
We need it on the screen so we see what Nobbins is about.
The best one is the win percentage when he's a winger versus a midfielder.
I've just DM'd it to you, man, on Twitter.
Where?
I've just DM'd it to
on
you.
Twitter. All right.
Yeah. After every single City game, within 3 hours, I will see an updated spreadsheet. I'm just sitting there going, "What's happened to the beautiful game, man? What happened to? I thought he played well. What happened to eye test? We've now got 17 different metrics to measure them by."
It's not enough because some people still don't understand. So I've got to make it very clear.
Because I know that some people won't have got enough of spreadsheets. After every game, you go to the El Nobbins YouTube channel, there's a tactical analysis of it. And I'm sure the spreadsheet features in the tactical analysis as well.
It does sometimes, yes. Look at that. That was after the Liverpool game, I think.
There you go. It's what it says. Phil Foden was poor yesterday, but has been our best player this season. Look at what happens if he's used correctly and given the ball compared to what happens if he's shoved out wide, given a graveyard and a spreadsheet.
Look at that win percentage of midfielder versus winger. Look at it.
Wow. I can't see it, but fine, yeah. It's
click
win
on the photo
44% versus 88%. Touches per game, 64-75. Number of City touches, 7 point. Oh my God. He touches the ball more. GA per game.
Key passes per game's a big one as well. To be fair, Nobbins, you have to explain the bottom one to me because I don't get how you've got that bigger percentage.
What do you mean? Percentage
what does is that overall touches in every sort of thing, right?
Yes. That's overall Foden touches.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. You know that, right?
In City losses, he only averages 46 touches a game.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because he's having a bad game.
No, it's because of where he's placed on the pitch. If he's placed in midfield, he's obviously going to have more influence on the game. If he's placed out wide and isn't allowed to impact the game, he's going to have less touches. That's the argument. You can have a bad game, but still have a lot of touches. The data is telling us that if Foden has a lot of touches, he doesn't have a bad game.
Okay, so let me ask you something then. Who's more important, Foden or Rodri?
Rodri, but that's a different argument. Importance isn't the same as best.
So you think Foden is better than Rodri, but Rodri is more important?
This season, yes, definitely. There's a big difference between being the best player and being the most important player. You could I could make a case that Ederson is a much more important player than Foden. Has Ederson been better than Foden this season? No.
So Rodri hasn't been better than Foden.
Not this season for City, no. But again, has he been more important? Yes, because but that's more to do with our squad. Because without him, who do we have? We don't have Gundogan anymore. So that's more to do with the fact that we don't have the requisite cover for him. Whereas if Foden's out,
Calvin. You should play Calvin.
Whereas if Foden was out,
do you believe Pep doesn't play Foden in the center because he doesn't believe he's as good as you guys are talking about him in that center?
Well, he's now played him in the center more than out wide.
But how much percentage?
Yeah, by one game. But the reason why he does that is, but that's because of his versatility and his utility. It's not because he doesn't think he can play there, because he clearly can, because his best games have come from midfield. We can all see that. It's because Foden, to his own detriment, is a very versatile player. Therefore, Pep goes, right, well, I'll show you.
You are saying he doesn't play well on the side.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he plays better in midfield than the wings. I am saying he can, and I am also saying that he can play very well out wide, as long as he's not used as a touchline winger. The Man United game is a perfect encapsulation of this. First half, in my opinion, Foden plays as a touchline winger. Anyone tell me what Foden did in that first half?
He should have got an assist, but Erling Haaland decided to miss from 2 yards out.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, essentially, for the most part, he did nothing. Second half, what did he do? He won the game from midfield, but actually starting out wide. So he was technically a winger in both halves, but that's a clear difference. In one, he was holding the width. The other, he was given license to come inside.
Which wing do you think he plays best? If he had to go out on a wing, let's just say, for whatever reason, he's got to be put out wide, which side would you rather he played on, the left or the right?
If he's being asked to be a touchline winger, it's on the left. If he's being asked to be a winger who does have some license to come inside, it's the right.
Do you believe Foden is the best player in the league this season?
No.
Who's the best player in the league?
I think Rice has been better, for example. I think Van Dijk has been better. That's at least two.
So let's say City won the Premier League. City came back and won the Premier League. Who would be player of the season?
I still think it probably would be Van Dijk.
I like this.
I'm all for a bit of Van Dijk. I feel that Mo Salah gets a little bit brushed under the radar here as well, because he's been missing for a couple of months as well. But, I'll take crack and get. But
the voting happens like before the season ends anyway, so.
Yeah, look, Rodri, the thing is with Rodri is crucial to City because he keeps them ticking over. And like as Novin said, they have no one who does that. I feel that Foden stepped up when Kevin De Bruyne wasn't there.
100%.
And that will go under the radar. And since Kevin De Bruyne has come back, his performance levels haven't dropped off. He's just had to accommodate Kevin De Bruyne.
Foden's been carrying City at times this season, man. Like, people don't understand how good he's been.
Big games, Phil Foden's always there. But I think we've managed him pretty well at both games. Certainly at the Etihad, I don't think he'd done anything at the Etihad.
No, yeah, and that's a perfect example where he was just given no license to drift inside, and he was just shoved out wide by City.
But even then, if I go back to this back to the point that Rodri is important, probably not the best, but he's important. The one game which I've seen Rodri look shaky in was at us at Anfield, because we were just so high up on him in terms of pressing and harrying, and the options weren't there because of the way the setup was. And when Rodri struggled, City struggled. That's the worst I've seen City look in a long time. So Rodri's clearly much more important to how City play in terms of setting the tempo and creating everything like that. But Foden this season has been better. If I just, like, Brentford won that game on his own. United won that game on his own. That's 2 already. And there's been other games which he's turned up in. Everton, he started to come back against Everton with an absolute rocket. I just feel that the way football's gone now with tribalism, because stupidly cannot mention Phil Foden without someone saying Bukayo Saka.
Cole Palmer now. It's Cole Palmer. We picked him with the season yesterday, guys. We picked Cole Palmer in the 10.
No, you didn't.
Hold on. No. Mo, show me this team. Show me this team right now.
No, I refuse to believe that. You would not have let me down like that, Mo. There is no way that you would have let me down like that.
This team
You
this season
guys
right
don't
now.
know that stream was one of the best streams ever on YouTube. It had all Hossam's A-listers and the Ahwa crew. So Lewis, Igal, Griggs, Staffy, Ziad, myself, Jacob, Hossam, Saad, and Hamza.
I had all these great
10
names,
people.
and yet you still got the 10
So
wrong.
hold on,
Unreal.
you guys.
Hold on,
We
I'm
actually
trying this team.
hold on. I actually thought this is the team. It was Allison, Diego Dallo on the right side, Gabriel and Van Dijk on the left side. You doggy in the center. Declan Rice, McAllister, and Cole Palmer in the 10. Salah on the right, Watkins up top, and on the left side, Youngmin Son.
So no City players.
Oh my God! I just realized there was no City players in there at
What's
all.
No
Hamza
Man City
doing?
players. No Bukayo Saka. How the fuck has Dallo got in at right back?
Okay, to be honest with you,
How's Cole Palmer
that
got
Diego
in
Dallo, Diego Dallo got in there just because of voting power. What I mean is like lobbies and stuff. Lobbies happen. Myself and Jacob voted for Dallo to get the vote for the players we wanted later. I created an argument. To be honest, I created an argument
so
for
this was
Dallo.
not team of the season.
Hold on.
This was like politics. This was like
There's
I
more
will
Chelsea
sacrifice
players in
it
that
so I can
team.
To be
have
honest
my
with you,
choice.
it was supposed to be Trent on the right side. Just to be honest, okay. But
You
I
know
thought,
what? I've got. I don't know about you, Nobbins. I've got nowhere to go. Should we do an actual good team of the season now that doesn't include Dallo and actually has City players in? Because that was horrendous.
I can't believe Mo's let me down.
Where was
man.
Ollie Watkins?
okay, so hold on. Ollie Watkins versus Haaland. Ollie Watkins has more GA and less penalties.
Yes.
We're talking about this team of this season. We put Ollie Watkins up top
Good.
instead of Haaland.
Youngman Sarr on the left was a little bit dodgy, like.
Youngmin Son had 22 GA from the left on a shit with less games than everybody else. 22 GA. And but to be honest with you, Youngmin Son is not.
Not been
And you
playing
know,
on the left,
Tom,
Mo. He's
let
not
me
been playing on the
finish.
left.
No, he did play 11 games on the left. Half his games on the left. Actually,
Why is Rodri not there as well?
Guys, hold on. To be honest with you, it was supposed to be Trent on the right side. But to be honest with you, Rodri might have got overlooked because of Declan Rice. So let me ask you a question, Nobbins. At DM this season, who has been better, Rodri or Declan Rice?
Well, I don't think it's a Rice. Both. Have both.
Done.
Have both, though. Have both.
Okay.
Because those two,
hold
I
on.
would say.
Yes. Okay. Just wait. I'm gonna let you talk.
I'm waiting.
If you have one player to choose from as a
Rice.
DM,
That's fine.
That was the argument. Just to let you know.
My counter to that is that doesn't have to be the case, though.
But we didn't want two DMs. We didn't want two DMs. We wanted one.
You can play Rodri as a box to box.
My argument then would be I think Declan Rice has arguably been good as an 8, and I think that's the role that he's been deployed in recently ever since Jorginho came to the team. Jorginho was sit deeper, and Declan Rice was pushed further
Rodri, Rice, Foden would be my midfield.
Can I counter this? We actually looked in the Premier League. Declan Rice played 22 games as a DM and only 6 games as an 8. So we counted this because the problem happened in the Champions League when he played an 8. So people think he has played an 8. So I don't think he qualifies. He played DM the majority of the season as an actual DM.
Again, just play 4-2-3-1.
So hold on. Against us, did Declan Rice play as a 6 or an 8?
I don't know. I can't remember now. I actually went and looked at every game. And he played as a DM.
No, but this is the point. I can tell you right now, Declan Rice was not the 6 against us. Jorginho was.
So probably he wasn't that game, but that's one game.
But my point is, they've got Declan Rice down as the DM in this game because that was how they thought it set up. Ultimately, Declan Rice has been, for me, he's hit his best run of form when Jorginho came to that team because he had a little bit more freedom. I was doing a team
let me put it forward to you before you go on. Would you have McAllister as an 8 or Declan Rice? McAllister. You have to kick Declan Rice out.
No.
See, it's very complicated. It's not as easy as you think it is.
I am not having McAllister in the team of the season. He's not making team of the season.
Okay, so you think Declan Rice, who played 6 games as an 8, is better than McAllister for Liverpool, who played the majority of the time as an 8 since Indo started playing?
I wouldn't play that. He wouldn't make my midfield. If you want my team of the season midfield 3, it's Nobbins's. It's Rodri, Rice, Foden. That's
Big
the
up,
best 3
big up.
midfielders in the league.
Man
This
of
season.
culture.
On the
We
right is
didn't-
Mo
And also,
Salah.
I don't know how this has turned to Rice versus Rodri when the massive outlier in that midfield is fucking Cole Palmer. Hello?
That was fun. That was lobbies. That was, to be honest with you, that was politics. That was politics.
What is
brushed him off
Hamza
straight away.
doing?
Hamza had 2 votes, but he was outvoted by Hussam and myself because of politics.
So this is a fraudulent political team of the season. This
To be
is
honest with you, it wasn't actually real.
outrageous.
It wasn't actually real.
Disgusting
We had some
behavior.
arguments that are not bad, but actually, to be honest with you, it was just chaos. It was
How did
10
no one
people.
look at that and go,
Guys,
there's no guys,
It
there's no
was
City
10
players?
people on the stream, 10 people on the stream.
There's also no Bukayo Saka in there.
Okay,
Which I
would you
feel
have
like-
Bukayo Saka over Salah?
I wouldn't have Saka in
No.
there. I have Salah in there.
Okay,
I'd have Saka over Son.
but that you can't. Actually, Son has more GA, and Son has created chances. And also, one more thing.
So is Saka.
Son, wait, let me finish the points. Why I didn't choose Saka there? Saka played 20 minutes this season as a left winger. 20 minutes. Son has played 11 games on the left wing. Are we, if we are doing this, so Saka hasn't played left wing at all. Why are you putting Saka there? Based on what?
So, hold on. So you do team of the season based on position.
I
So
actually,
a
but
left
we
winger
didn't.
has to be on the left
But
wing.
we didn't. Actually, people voted Son. I actually believe Son has been on. It's a conversation between him and Saka. Son has been arguably better than Saka. Why not?
My team would be Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk. Honestly,
Gabriel.
I genuinely, because I don't like doing positions, I just have defenders, midfielders, attackers, Saliba and Gabriel. My 4 best defenders in the league this year have been Trent, Van Dijk, Saliba, and Gabriel. That's my back line. With
And
Alisson
then you
in
want to
goal.
play Rodri and Rice together. Let's defend. the whole time.
Rodri, Rice, Foden, Salah, Watkins, Saka.
And you wouldn't play Haaland. So what's the reason of playing Saka and not Haaland then?
Because I think Saka's been one of the best players in the Premier League this season. He's
Saka
been-
was one of the best players. Saka has been one of the best players in the Premier League.
Yes.
And you wouldn't play Udogie on the left side or Robinson.
No, because I don't think they have been better this season than. Look, I'll put it this way: Van Dijk, Gabriel, and Saliba have been the 3 best defenders out of any position in the Premier League this season.
Yeah.
And Trent has been the best fullback.
Yeah, but that's not how it works.
So I
though.
put the 4 best defenders in there, not the 2 best centre backs and then the best right back and the best left back. I just go by he's a defender, he's a midfielder, he is an attacker. Hence why when you look at the PFA team of the season, Eden Hazard, a left mid, played fucking centre mid half the time because they don't do it based on, well, he's a left winger. They just do it based on
probably.
positioning.
Anyway, we deviated, right? We deviated from this. Okay, the last part, I don't know how we would just keep waffling and we have still 550 people here somehow. And we actually reached 300 likes. Guys, my goal is for every stream live to have 400 likes, and even on the replay to have 500 likes. If you can do that, you guys are legends. And if you want to send super chats, the bigger issue is City is at 8, not 10 and wide. Is that? Yes. Actually, that's very true. Remember, he tried everyone at the 8, and it just didn't work. Kovacic, remember the Arsenal game in the beginning? He tried Nunes.
I don't agree. It did work. Kovacic
I
just
think
didn't play well because he
Kovacic
didn't
should
have
have
Rodri
been
next
sent
to
off
him.
after 20 minutes.
Yeah, but that's because there was no Rodri holding his hand. If Kovacic has not had one bad game where he's played with Rodri.
So you think Kovacic is the solution for you? All right.
In the bigger games, 100%. Yeah, I was desperate for him to start at Anfield,
Yeah,
especially when
all right.
Grealish isn't available.
When he came on, they got a semblance of control back.
All right.
Yeah, well, he was our best player as soon as he came on.
Sounds
yeah.
good. Now, another part, which is
Oh my!
where are the teams gonna drop points here? This is the
I hate this.
I'm gonna show you my predictions.
I've actually not seen you. I know you did them, but I've not seen them yet.
This is my predictions of the end of the season, right?
Oh wow!
Okay. But you have to remember, there's 10 games left. One game might change the whole thing. What I mean is that I actually believe this last 10 games will have domino effects, right? If Liverpool, for example, drop points against Man United, it will be crucial. Also, we have to understand that the Spurs game now, which is right here, it moved between Wolves. Sorry, the Spurs game for Arsenal. It is, I believe, between where? Yeah, it's actually the right one. No, the Spurs game moved back. It's between Aston Villa and Wolves, if I'm not mistaken, something like this. I can't remember.
I thought it was the Chelsea one that moved.
Actually, the Chelsea one for Arsenal moved.
That's why all them ones at the end didn't have a date when you done this. I assume
the Chelsea one moved between Wolves and Spurs. So Arsenal play. They hear this out. They play Wednesday, Bayern Munich. They play. No. Hold on. Go back. They play Saturday, Brighton. Tuesday, Bayern Munich away from home. Aston Villa on a Sunday. Bayern Munich on a Wednesday. Wolves on a Saturday. On a Tuesday, they play Chelsea. On a Sunday, they play Spurs. And then after this, by 3 days, they play the semi-final of the Champions League if they qualify. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. They ruined Arsenal's fixtures. They ruined the schedule. How can the team cope with this? And for Liverpool, for the people that don't know, the Merseyside derby have moved between Fulham. It's absolutely atrocious. So now Liverpool plays 3 away games back to back.
No, because Mo, we've got Atalanta away as well. So we've got 4 away games in 10 days.
Yeah, so they play. So Liverpool, this is how Liverpool's schedule look like, right? It's absolutely horrendous, right? They start with Man United away, Atalanta at home, Crystal Palace at home, expected to win both. Then it starts Thursday, Atalanta away, Sunday, Fulham away, Wednesday, Everton away, Saturday, West Ham away. And then I believe after this, there is the Thursday of the Europa League if you qualify. If you qualify, and then you play Tottenham.
Europa, Villa.
It's absolutely horrendous. It's horrendous, to be honest. So where do you guys see the teams? And let's go back to the other one without the points. Where do you guys see the teams dropping points? This is fun.
Should we start with Arsenal first, Nubbins? Just work our way from top to bottom.
Yeah.
The games that you'd earmark as a dodgy one for Arsenal are City away. I think Brighton away is depends the Brighton that come out. Because you're either going to have a really tough game or you're going to snot them 5-0.
I think it'll be I think they'll win quite easily there, to be fair.
I also think...
Can I put something forward to you, Nobbins? Brighton haven't lost at home since September.
Sure. I still think Arsenal win that one.
All right.
I think all the away games are tough ones for Arsenal. I'll be honest.
All of them?
Yes. Wolves...
How many points? So, okay, starting from City, how many points? Because I had Arsenal dropping 5 points in this run, or 7? 5 points.
I'll be honest, they win all the home games, so that's 15 out of 15. I think I'm going to go with them beating City. So that's 18 out of 18.
Beating City?
They beat, I reckon they then beat Brighton, draw at Wolves, lose to Tottenham, and draw at United.
7 points.
I think it could be 7, yeah. The Wolves ones that are, I think just the Wolves.
So they get 22 games. They get 23 points.
That, bear in mind, that's on the basis that they reach the semi-finals of the Champions League. If they don't reach the semi-finals of the Champions League, they beat Tottenham and they beat United.
Wow. So how many points they drop? Only 2 points.
Because I just think of the way that Champions League semi-final is going to go. That's what I think. It's going to be horrendous.
I will predict because this is just a bit of fun. So I'll predict with
fun.
I'll predict with chest or whatever people say, and I will say even though I don't think it's going to. I'll predict City to beat Arsenal. So because this is just a bit of fun, and then I'll say that. Well, and then I'll say that I don't know which game it will be, but I will say that they would draw one of the away games out of Spurs United. I don't know which one. I think there is a storyline with the United one. I believe that's United's last home game this season, for example. So I'll say that they drop 5 points from now until the end of the season. Every other game I'll say they win.
You ain't buying Wolves away is a tough game.
Nah, I'll say they win. It'll be hard, but it'll be like a 1-0 sort of thing. I will go for.
Fair enough.
So how many points?
I don't know how the points line up. Mo's going to have to do math in his head here. So
yeah, I don't know how many
points.
No,
how many points they drop? How many points they drop?
7.
I've only said 5.
Mm-hmm.
So Tom thinks they drop 7.
Yeah, I think if they get far,
they have 64 now.
They drop 7.
So they have 64 now. So they drop 7. So they get 23. So they end up with 87 points. Is that what you're saying? 87 points. So Arsenal end up with 87 points. Write it down, people. Arsenal 87 points. Nobbins, what do you think Liverpool drop points?
Yeah. So they're obviously going to win. They're going to win all the home games easily. The Spurs game asterisk. That's not going to be easy. Away against Fulham, they'll win. I think away against Villa, they'll win. If it was Villa a few months ago, different story. I do think they draw either at Old Trafford or at Everton. So that's at least 2 points that are dropped. Am I going to be brave enough to say they'll draw at Spurs at home again?
We fucking best not. I'm not having them for a fucking second time.
Just because it's going to annoy Tom. Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to drop points at Anfield against Spurs. It'll be a draw, it'll be 2-2. And then they will also draw either at United or Everton. So they're going to drop 4 points.
Okay, 90 points for Liverpool.
I've
Liverpool
got
ahead of Arsenal.
I think we win all our home games, and we win at Fulham. We win at West Ham. We draw one of United and Everton, and win the other, and we draw at Villa.
So how many points you drop?
4 to 6. It depends on the two derby games.
So Tom thinks Liverpool
90 points. And what about
more
City,
than I think.
Tom? What about
90 or 88? We either end on 90 or 88.
But either you are ahead of Arsenal because Arsenal 87.
Yes.
Right then. Okay. What about City then? Wow. You said already City lose to Arsenal.
Well, yeah, I've got them dropping 3 points at least.
Arsenal, that's one.
I reckon they draw at Tottenham.
They draw at Tottenham. That's 5
because
points.
It's Tottenham. And I reckon they draw at Brighton.
What the actual F? They draw at Brighton and they draw at Spurs. So they drop 7 points. So they get 23 points. So they end up at 86.
Wait, hold on, no, not Brighton. Sorry, not Brighton. Fulham. I meant Fulham.
So Man City end up with 86 points.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal with 87 points, and Liverpool either 88 or 90 points. Mm-hmm. Liverpool win the league.
Well, we don't have Tom's prediction. Say City win every single game.
No.
And City win the title.
No, I don't think that will happen. Again, this is a chess
Guys,
prediction.
How much for Tom to put that on his Twitter? I sent him the picture, and Tom put it on his Twitter.
So I will go for. I've already said City will beat Arsenal because that's I'm predicting with chess, and it's a bit of fun. We'll win all the other home games. That's what I'll say. I'm not dismissing Villa, not dismissing Wolves, West Ham, but I'll predict us to win them all. Again, Palace, Forest aren't easy. I'll still say we win. We will drop points.
Remember, the Spurs game will move, if I'm not mistaken. Your Spurs game is undecided yet. It will be, I think, it depends on the cup. So your Spurs game will still move. It's not there. It will be in between.
For sure. The obvious one to say is that we draw at Spurs.
But you don't want to draw.
So hold on. Don't you think that? So on a real note, don't you think that this season is the season where you Spurs don't defend and you actually win the game?
Maybe, but we did only just beat them in the FA Cup, and that was due to like a corner in like the last minute. I still think we were the better side that day, but
guys in
yeah.
the chat, I want to hear your opinion. If you want to send us predictions and stuff,
So
super chats appreciated. I want your predictions. That the running is in front of you, so let me know what you guys think.
I'm going to predict with chest, and City only drop 2 points from now
Only
until the
2
end of the
points.
season. We draw either at Brighton or Spurs.
So you end up with, so you have 63 now. So you get 28 points. So you end up with 91 points. So you win the league.
Nobbins has City winning the league.
Yeah, but this is a bit of fun.
So basically, Nobbins can go do one because he's got us missing out on the title to City by a point again. He's got us on 90.
Jurgen Klopp's last season, 1 point behind Klopp, 1 point behind Pep again.
He's got them on 91 and us on 90.
The Spurs at Anfield again. Oh, can you imagine? Oh God. So what have I got Arsenal on then?
£20, and I'll get Nobbins to post this on his Twitter. I'm gonna send him £20. I'm gonna get Nobbins to post this on his Twitter account. With Liverpool missing on the title by 1 point again.
Is it £20 for both of us or £20 for one?
£20 each. £20 for him. No, don't be cheap.
What what about me? What's my one?
£20,
right.
and you'll post yours on Twitter. £20 for Tom, £20 for Nobbins. You name him.
It's got to be specified in your super chat which one you want posted.
Specify in your super chat.
And Hetty, you know what? If you want to donate and make Nobbins post it twice, you can make him post it twice.
No, don't ruin it. No. Don't ruin it.
I mean, just all the Nobbins posting as
because Nobbins cannot be like Nobbins has to post it once so it's believable, like one table. Otherwise, it's unbelievable. Like nobody will believe that.
Honestly, not you plan that, Nobbins. I know you. You plan that. You had that in your mind the whole time. Oh, won't it be funny if they lose a title again by a point?
To be fair, I think what I've predicted isn't beyond the realms of reality. To be fair,
it's not.
To be fair, you don't believe it's going to happen because you don't think you're beating Arsenal.
No, but So, in which case, but I have predicted you to draw twice, which is interesting.
You have
I actually predicted Liverpool to draw twice. I actually believe that it will be way more than this. All of you.
Yeah, every team will. People talk about going on
because of the cup, Nobbins. Because the Champions League.
Yeah, exactly. People talk about every team's going to go out and win every single game. Like no, every team's going to drop at least 2 points from now until the end of the
Europa League. There's Champions League. There's the cup games for City. There's too many things around for all teams to win every game. I actually believe the title will be won maximum by 90 points, 80 something points. Unless City go do the thing and then they just win the last 10 games and end up at 93 points. That can happen, though.
What a glorious time that would be.
But I think the best thing would be actually if you actually win it against Klopp by 1 point again. I think that would be very funny.
That would be really funny.
Actually, that would be very, very funny, to be honest.
Don't Liverpool have Wolves at home again on the...
Yes, we do.
That would be so funny.
In the last game of the season, yes. Wolves at home again.
That would be so funny, man.
Do you know what as well? Watch City try and get the Aston Villa game postponed until the last game of the season. So I have to go through all that fucking pain again.
Oh my God. De Bruyne with another league-winning assist.
Nobbins, you know what's worse? If that Villa game was the last game of the season for you, it would be the exact same ending for all of these three teams because Everton had Arsenal away the last game of the season that year and they lost 5-1. We beat Wolves 3-1 and you beat Villa 3-2. It would be deja vu all over again.
Oh, what a glorious send-off that would be. Please.
Ryan is saying, let me just do this super chat. Ryan is saying, City not getting enough criticism for their summer. Gavardiol, Nunes, Dako, Kovacic, all they're underwhelming in my opinion. Kovacic has always been overrated. Nobbins, that's for you.
I actually think that I've underrated Kovacic, to be honest. If he's playing, I don't think Clinton watched Chelsea every single week when he was at Chelsea. I watched him regularly, but I actually think that maybe I've underrated Kovacic. I think he's actually a bit better than I thought he would be. My main issue with our window was that we let Gundogan go. If we just kept Gundogan, then everything would have been fine, or replaced him properly, that would have been fine. But we didn't get Bellingham, we didn't get Rice, we couldn't get Paquetá because of the gambling issues. So we signed a lot of projects. Gvardiol, fantastic defender, project. Nunes, I think he will be a very good midfielder, project. Doku will be a very good winger, project. Kovacic isn't a long-term player. So yeah, I agree that the window wasn't great, but mainly due to the fact that we left Gundogan go. So it's a big summer for City. I see it being a big one. I see it being like 17, 18 vibes where we sign like 3 or 4 starters.
Yeah. I heard Tottenham is playing City on the second to last. I'm not sure, actually. They haven't decided that yet. I don't think they have decided that yet.
It's all up in the air, isn't it? Because it depends on, doesn't also depend on if we get to the semi-final of the Champions League and all that. So
it best not be that, because the year that we're about, which has all the similarities, City dropped points in the second to last game away from home at a London club.
Cooler is saying LFC draw at Man United, AFC win all. Arsenal will win all, but draw to City. So 2 points dropped. City lose to Arsenal and draw at Palace. They win the rest. So Arsenal win the league. This is what you are saying. It
depends on goal difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. If Arsenal win all but draw at City, Liverpool win all.
We've got our Sheffield United at home, Mo. Don't rule that out. We've got a snot Sheffield United at home.
That's a good point. Yeah,
9 goals. Yeah. Okay, Cooler. I hear you. And AMT saying, for me, Man City game is the catalyst. Arsenal must beat City. They would win the rest of the games. This is very strange. Why you're putting that much pressure? When were Arsenal favorites? When I say must, in my opinion, or maybe I'm confused. We had a debate the other day about must. You must win. When Arsenal fans said we must win against City, and I asked them simple questions. Are you favorites going to the Etihad? They said no. So like, how are you putting that pressure of a must? You're only a must if you're favorites to win. It's unless it's a knockout stages game. It's ridiculous. Like if Arsenal get a draw against City, Arsenal are still ahead of City. You guys have to remember this. You have to remember this. You're still ahead of City. Yes, you have tougher fixtures. City still have Spurs away and they have Brighton away.
Also, like Arsenal.
Arsenal have United away, Wolves away. Oh my God, it's tough for them. To be honest.
I hate title races. I hate all this. I cannot stand any minute of this. I hate it all. I want to go back to when we were 25 points clear and I was able to enjoy my football and not have to stress out about, well, if we drop points here, it's all gone wrong. I want to go back to when I could just enjoy it. Because now I'm going as every game, shitting myself that we drop points sillily and then it's all over and done with. I hate it.
If that super chat person said that Arsenal beat City, then win all the games, that would mean that they'd win 18 Premier League games in a row, which
match the record that
was set by like the City Centurions and Liverpool's 1920 team. So that would be incredible. That would be a record equaling if it happens. That would be like like unprecedented. That would be crazy. So they're going to drop points somewhere.
AMT saying, why are you rattled? To win the league, Arsenal must win the rest. I'm not stressed like you guys.
They're not going to win 18 Premier League games in a row. As good as Arsenal been good this season, they're not going to win 18 in a row. You can quote me on that. I don't think even the most optimistic Arsenal fan realistically thinks they're going to win every single game, 18 in a row in the Prem.
18 in a row in the premise is just too much, to be honest. It's too much.
It's a record equaling, isn't it? Was it 18 that City and Liverpool did? And those teams are much better than any team currently in the Premier League. So if it happened, hands up, hats off to them. Unbelievable, fantastic. But is it going to happen?
Do you know what I hate about that record, though, Nobbins? We were literally a draw against fucking Ollie's United. It's always Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We were a draw with Ollie's United away from, I think it would have been 28 wins in a row. 28.
Shout out Solskjaer.
But fucking Dan James tore us apart down the right. And Rashford scored and we couldn't beat them. It's always Ollie.
Respect, Ollie.
Hold on. AMT saying, don't care what you think. You
Why
are
are you,
rattled now.
why are you super chatting in money to tell us that you don't care? You clearly care. You're spending money to tell us you don't care. That means you care.
Why are you watching us stream if you don't care what we think?
He's watching it. He's watching it. Guys, don't knock out my super chatters.
I'm not knocking him. I'm just asking the question. If you're paying money to tell someone you don't care, you care.
He's telling us his opinion. He's telling us he thinks.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
Okay, what they said is that, I'm not sure if it's a he or she, that they win all the games left. And you said you don't believe that. And he's like, I don't care what you think. I think it's funny, actually.
No, it is funny, but
I think it's funny, to be honest with you.
No, it is funny. It just reminds me of
super chatter replying to you is it's great.
It just reminds me of when people say we don't care about City winning, but then that's all they talk about. So it's like, well, if you didn't care, you wouldn't talk about it.
You really don't care.
But this is proving my point 1,000 times over.
Amazing conversation.
This is brilliant. Yeah.
Because it's actual conversation. You keep talking, and he's like,
"No, it's great. I love it." But again, you do care. You've paid Mo twice to tell me that you don't care, but you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep trying to tell me that you didn't care.
No, but he really doesn't care.
There's nothing wrong with caring.
Really,
you know.
Do you care?
I care. I care about AMT. I care about his opinion. I'm not going to lie and say I don't care, because that's silly.
Anyway, listen, this has been absolutely fantastic and amazing show, an hour 47 minutes, and I do care about people's opinion. That's why we're here. We're debating people.
No, I care.
I'm debating panelists and also the people in the chat. Your opinion matters. What?
Tom just went.
I don't care about Nobbin's opinion.
What the hell?
After that shambles at the end where he wants to break my heart for a third time, I no longer care.
Dearie me.
I need an Arsenal from next week. I might bring an Arsenal fan in here after the games, after every week.
No, but they'll just hate me.
I don't think you'll get involved next week. We'll replace you next week because
you're gonna replace the team. You're gonna replace the team that's top of the table.
That will be top after next week.
And just because you replied to Martin, then Martin said, "I'm tired of City Pool disrespecting us." I feel like I've been consistently across the season incredibly respectful to Arsenal, and I've given them their due, and I've said how brilliant a manager Arteta is, and I've always defended him. Don't lump me in with Tom Little. I've defended Arsenal every step of the way, and I've said in my actual prediction, I don't think that we're going to beat Arsenal. I've said that it's probably going to be a draw. So we'll be having less of that I've been disrespecting Arsenal. I've been very respectful of Arsenal.
To be fair, I want Arsenal to win on Sunday. I remember give you higher praise
Mo doing a stream titled "Are Arsenal out of the title race?" I was like, no, of course they're not. Hello.
I actually did a stream on Nob and says like no, but Tom said yes.
So yeah, give me my flowers for defending Arsenal. IMO. Tom, you can take him to the sword, whatever. I don't care about that.
I want them to win. I'm an Arsenal fan at 4:30.
Yeah, for 1 week. For 1 week only. 1 week only. You said Arteta's a fraud and there's a little
North London forever, whatever the weather. I'll sing the song and everything because I need them to beat City.
Yeah. Anyway, people, the 600 people here. I want you guys to turn on the notification bell. Your notification bell. Why we build up slowly? Because you guys don't have the notification bell for the channel. You know the notification bell? You have to do it. So it sends you notifications. AMT saying money is not everything. Yeah, of course, money is not everything. I appreciate everyone that super chatted the channel, of course. Ryan, Cooler, Sean, Nilotpal, the Mitten Mister, Joyce, of course, and AMT. Thank you all for supporting the channel and absolutely giving us super chats and supporting the channel. Thank you for everybody likes. Guys, I have a request. We are 30 likes away only from 400 live. 400 likes live on the air. And I'm sure there is like 100 of you that haven't hit the like button. The like button is underneath your live chat. Hit the like button before you go. Stay on the stream. It will take you to League Gunner stream. And we are out of here. But I want to get 400 likes before you go. The like button underneath your live chat. And we're out of here, people. Thank you, everyone. And we're out.